Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a great one on tap between the Seattle Seahawks and the Arizona Cardinals. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. We are about 15 miles west of downtown Phoenix at State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona. A moment ago, this Arizona crowd was on its feet. The defensive starters, led by perennial All-Pro Patrick Peterson, were introduced. Now they've got a tough one on their hands as they'll square off with Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. Charles, you look at this Cardinal team as they get ready here. They come in on a pretty good roll here, winners of 3 straight. Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Seahawks, the streak continues, doesn't it? They come in a perfect 10-0.
And it's not just that they're winning, it's how they're winning. All phases of the game coming together for this team.
The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is fielded at the goal line. And look at this. Right away, a loose football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. And careless with a football there on the kick return.
And one thing I love about going to practices is trying to get around coaches and hear their catchphrases and what they really emphasize. We haven't been to a single one yet this year where a guy fielding a kick, you don't hear, tuck it away, tuck it away, tuck it away. And this time, they turned it over.
Ball security eluded him. So they need to determine if that knee was down before the ball was coughed up.
And they also wanted to make sure that the ball was possessed as they were going through it, that the ball wasn't working its way free before the knee hit the ground.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Now let's go!
They go play action here on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Frank Clark, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Back to throw. Rollins. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. A call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill or the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground. Whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for. I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
David Johnson here on the catch. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. To give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved, just as you said. They want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
That throw good for 4. It's second down. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it. They love it because now everyone gets locked in. The confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well. I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? The numbers a week ago for Johnson. 16 carries, 64 yards.
He's been a huge part of their winning streak because he establishes not just an identity and a tone, but the team relies on it. He takes care of the football, he gains yardage for him, chews up clock, and that's been a big part of why they're winning games lately. A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent game.
On 1st and 10, Rollins. And just as you called it after the earlier sack, they set up the screen. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. A great play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Cardinals take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. A 10-play drive that time. And the Cardinals cap it with a touchdown. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, a man who's made quite the name for himself in the NFL, and that's Russell Wilson.
Okay, I'm not taking a turn to negative town, even though it's going to sound like it. The 2 interceptions he threw last week, those obviously have to be eliminated, and that was the focus of practice this week. But let's face it, he did throw 3 touchdown passes.
And they got the win.
And they got the win, so I think it was a good week for him to work on things. Had some positives, the win being first and foremost. Now he's just got to eliminate those interceptions.
This is Carson.
Whoosh.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a first down.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to, but they didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. Rolling to his right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And this is taken in at the 5. And he's going to get this deep onto Arizona's side of the field. A big play that time for the Seahawks. 44 yards.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside.
End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. In for the score. And the Seahawks just an extra point away from tying this thing up. And he shows some mobility there, getting outside of the tackles, moving to the right, making a nice play.
Yeah, he had the whole field in front of him and was able to actually throw it about where he was looking, right? He said he moved to the right, had his vision there, and put a nice pass into the end zone for a touchdown.
Extra point forthcoming. Point after, right down the middle. And we are tied at 7. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. But prior to that, he had hit his first 6 passes to start the game, so on a nice little run to begin.
It feels like this offense has carried its dress rehearsal into the game, you know, because you do practice it, you do go through it, and in this case, it is clicking exactly like they drew it up.
And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. And, Johnson dinged up a bit. Still down. Hopefully nothing serious. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Now a play fake here on first down. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Pushing forward for 3 up to the 48. The numbers on the ground for Carson last week. 12 carries, 71 yards.
Hey, he could very well be on his way to a rushing title, but guess what? His offensive line, they're meeting separately because they want that rushing title as much as he does. They want to make sure they get him there.
Dancing to his left. Now he'll throw deep left side. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. Oh, very close to a turnover there in the end zone. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we've hit the end of quarter 1. It's a tight game here early. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. They'll need to convert a 3rd and 7, though, to start things out. The play fake. Here's Wilson. They'll roll him out right. He's going to let this go deep, back over the middle. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback.
All right, here we go.
Now they try the right side here. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
To throw on second down. Rollins. Simpson reels it in over the middle. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. First target, first catch, and a first down. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave them with a 3rd down and 6 to go.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Under 4 to play now. Clock running. 3rd down.
All right, here we go. 319. 319.
Off play action. Rollins. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
Here comes the Cardinals punter now. Back deep, the dangerous Tyler Lockett. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the number 1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in. But I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're number 1 in their conference.
And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. 25 yards to pick up there, and also a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Flush to his right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete.
It's been my observation. There's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. This is caught at the 20. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. And that one results in 35 yards.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover one. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
Sliding out of the pocket. Busts through the tackle. And that's incomplete.
They certainly thought they had him surrounded and probably thought they were going to get him on the ground and get the sack, but he was able to elude that. And even though it threw it incomplete downfield, if you're a defensive back, you're loving the pressure that you're seeing from your front.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. They go play action now. Wilson, he'll buy some, and he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Seahawks are able to strike for 6. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
A try here for the extra point. Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 14-7. So the drive there, 5 plays, 80 yards. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
That throw good for 4. It's second down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. More from the desert after this. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
Looking to throw on second down. Rollins looking middle, and it's incomplete.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Looking to throw. Rollins. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. Back to throw. Rollins. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Looking to throw. Rollins. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
They'll start out on the ground with Carson. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Now Wilson on second down. Now he's going to throw it back deep over the middle. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Now, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. 49-yard punt, 5 on the return. And the Cards will take over, 1st and 10. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get them back into the ball game or into the lead. In these situations, I remember playing with a quarterback once where he actually ran out onto the field first ahead of everyone else.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Seahawks have recovered. Oftentimes you say some guys have a knack for creating turnovers. He forced a fumble last week, forces another one.
And one of my good coaching buddies, Frank Delano, always told me, hey, Davis, creating turnovers is not as much about skill as it is about desire.
Oh, I thought it was going to be will, because will rhyme with skill.
Come on.
We went with desire. We'll go with desire.
What are you, the rhyme master now?
Give him 30 yards there. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Wilson now off the bootleg. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. They go play action with Wilson. And the pressure will bring him down here. The Cardinals get home for the sack. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. And this will be spotted on the other side of the field. It's a 61-yard attempt. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And all the gamble fails. It's incomplete. So we've come upon halftime with the visiting Seahawks. They're out in front. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things starting to get interesting in this final weekend before Thanksgiving. So let's see what's going on around the NFL. We'll start our tour out in the city of Angels, Los Angeles. And it's the Rams who have the lead in the second quarter. Jared Goff with 3 touchdown passes. From there, we'll head east to check on the Panthers at home at Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte. And they were losers in that ball game to the visiting New Orleans Saints. Aaron Rodgers, 2 touchdown passes as his guys remain unbeaten. Finally, let's get to Silicon Valley to check on the 49ers at home at Levi Stadium. And in that one, it's the visiting Dolphins who are out in front. Deshaun Hamilton, a touchdown reception. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. And out now come the Seahawks. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Here's Wilson. Steps away to his left. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
Playing against a 3-4 front is really challenging for offensive linemen because they can do so many different things. But when you're running the football, if you can handle the nose tackle up front, and then maybe a guard can slide up to the second level and block a linebacker, that's when you have success running the football.
He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, you know, the second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
Extra point right down the middle. And it's now 21-7. So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays. And it all culminates with a Seattle score. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Cardinals offense now ready to get their first opportunity here in the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it up near 4 here. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second in just about a few inches here.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up enough.
And the Seahawks defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Frank Clark in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
And that's his second sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
To throw on second down, Rollins. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Tyler Kroft, the tight end, the one he was looking for. And it's third down.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. In trouble, and he's taken down. That's number 4, sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they? One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending the guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. There's Wilson to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And out across midfield down to the 45. He has a first down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. And his throw here is incomplete.
And he still doesn't have a catch. We're into the second half. I think it's a little bit of a surprise to me, but that was one he should have caught.
Absolutely. That was his best opportunity right there. He dropped it. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Play action. Now Wilson out to his left. His throw caught right around the 6. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. as his guys are in for 6. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical, that's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. A drive that time of 6 plays. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. So out now come the Cardinals. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency. Move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. That'll go as a loss of 5.
Here we go now. Green 30.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. They get the penalty yardage back plus a yard. 6-yard gain, and it's 2nd and 9.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Back to throw. Rollins, his throw incomplete. A little too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
Green 39.
On 3rd down, Rollins. And that is incomplete.
Well, we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here comes the Cardinals punter now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Now it's Lockett. They'll call that a 61-yard punt. He got all of that one. And it'll be Seahawk football as they take over deep in their own territory. Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. Really solid effort for him right now. 3rd quarter, already 4 touchdown passes. How many can he get here? That
remains to be seen, but I know one thing. You and I will be here to watch. And I'm not going anywhere. With what he's doing in this contest, I'm not missing a minute of it. This guy's been spectacular.
Yeah, I mean, it's a team game, but sometimes these individual performances are fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes they just kind of come to the front, despite the fact, as you said, we know it's all about the team. But the way he's playing, he's trying to make his team win on his back.
Yeah, it's been exciting. And they're able to get this one across the 35. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Here's Carson. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on second down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Seahawks on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. From the gun, it's Wilson, rolling to his right. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
They had enough yards for the first down, but a clutch hit right there defensively jars it free. No first down.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
On first down, Rollins. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. After the incompletion, they'll try once more from the 20-yard line on 2nd and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
Back to the air on 2nd down. Rollins finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. The Cardinals on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd down and 12.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Operating from the gun, Rollins, and he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 46. Here's a handoff to Carson to begin the drive. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Play action. It's Wilson. They'll roll him out right. He lets it fly for Lockett. That's going to be caught. It's a big play there for Seattle. 53 yards. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people have pointed out to me, this is a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. They'll try to run with Carson. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
Second and goal from the 6 this time. He'll get it up the middle. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
On third down, that's Carson. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They come up on a 4th and goal as they look to finish this one off. So out now is the Seattle field goal team. This a chip shot, a 20-yarder. And his kick is indeed good. And that will extend their lead even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points. But this widens it out, as you said. And now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And the Cardinals getting set to trot out there now. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. It was Jaron Reed who got him down. Now they got to get to the line quickly. To throw on third down. Rollins. He finds an open man. Simpson. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Give him 35. The third down conversion. From the gun. Rollins. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Hurry up, here we go.
To throw again. Rollins. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And the Seahawks have recovered.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. They'll begin the drive with Carson. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
I would think as a play call, you want to look for some quick hitters to your tight end. Any type of a route to replace where that linebacker was. Because when you saw the speed with which he reacted and stuffed that play, maybe use that speed against him in the future.
They run again with Carson. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. The Seahawks on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. From the shotgun, Wilson flushed out right. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. Wilson wants to throw it, sliding out of the pocket. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Seahawks, the perfect season remains intact as they move to 11-0 on the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the New York Giants. Meanwhile, for Arizona, it's a loss that sets them back in their playoff push as they fall to 6-5. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Lambeau to take on the Packers. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.